Hi guys, and welcome to episode 2 of Moving On Up, my series on Football Manager 2017, where I've continued on from being sacked by Napoli and I'm now manager of Nice. If you've not already seen the first episode of this series, go back now and watch it. Okay, you've watched it, good. And just before I get into this episode, I would like to say thank you to everyone that subscribed. I've realised that we've actually surpassed 100 subscribers in the past month or so, and that's crazy to me. And I really appreciate everyone for all of you for your support, really, and I hope to keep pushing out that good content that you seem to be enjoying. So we'll get into this episode, and the first bit of stuff that we'll cover is transfer news. So this guy here, Patrick Benteke, is our one and only signing since last episode. He is a 15-year-old central midfielder signed by my director of football. The first thing I knew about him signing for us was when I got a message in my inbox asking me to offer him a contract. I had no idea that the director of football was doing this, but I'm not too disappointed, to be honest. So we signed him for £225,000 from Clermont Foot, and he has passing of 15 and free kick taking of 12, which for a 15-year-old, to me, just screams impressiveness. Impressiveness? It screams impressive? Tells me that he's going to be really good. So now we'll just take a look at the outgoings. There's been a few transfers out, two main ones. This is the first, Alassane Player. I did mention in last episode that I was probably going to get rid of him, and I decided that it was for the best. He is a winger which wouldn't really fit into my formation, and his contract was expiring at the end of the season, so I couldn't really leave it too long. So I decided to transfer list him and offer him out to clubs. He ended up going to EA Guingamp of Ligue 2 for, I think it was £2.5 million, and it could rise to £3.9 million. So good luck to him. Nothing more to say on that one. And the other sale was the guy that I said I wanted to keep, and the guy who had a meeting with me and said that he would stay until the end of the season and then reassess the situation as to whether we'd qualified for continental football. However, that all changes when Liverpool make a deadline day offer, it appears, as Liverpool offered £14 million for him, and his agent demanded that Balotelli was able to speak to Liverpool. And I'm not one for upsetting players, so if a player's agent tells me that the player wants to speak to a different club, I'll always let them. One plus side of this, well, a few plus sides to this, first of which, that's a new club record sale of £14 million, so a nice bit of money into the bank account of Nice. And also, it gives the younger strikers an opportunity to impress, really. Clayton and the new signing, Clayton's a new signing, but my new signing, Eli Yuan, will have a chance this season, more of a chance than they would have when Balotelli was here. So I'm not too down about the fact that he's gone. So here's the transfer overview of the dealings in the summer. So you can see, we know all about the incomings. In terms of outgoings, there were a few other sales. Patrick Berner, who was a youth player, I believe, he moved to Consolat Marseille for £95,000. This guy, Hugo Hegegi, is a 17-year-old goalkeeper who was just lounging around in my reserves. Apparently he's got the ability to be a pretty damn good player. And the first I knew of that was when Porto put in a transfer request. Transfer request? No, they put in an offer of £500,000. Hegeji's agent demanded that he was able to speak to them. Again, agent pulling power is just having its effect on me. And he ended up moving there. So good luck to him as well. He's got a cut hand already, which doesn't bode well, but I'm sure he'll do well. Handling and kicking, 13-14. Pretty good for a 17-year-old goalkeeper. And then we've sent a few players out on loan. Saw Rafaturiniana, Paulin Puel and Mikel Lebihan have all gone out on loan. And one final bit of sort of transfer news. This guy here, 15-year-old Eric Beaulieu, he was subject to quite a few bids in this transfer window. Bids from clubs like Arsenal, Manchester United and Manchester City. They were all putting in bids of, started out around £500,000, but I think we eventually got Manchester United to about £6 million. So this guy is definitely one to watch. I rejected all those bids. He either doesn't have an agent or isn't bothered about speaking to bigger clubs, which is a sign of something good for me. He's got extremely good determination of 15 and not too bad attributes in terms of passing, tackling and technique. defensive midfielder, passing's good, tackling's good. The world's his oyster. Hopefully Eric Beaulieu is going to get a chance to impress over, if not this season, over the next few seasons with us. But we then followed that up with a game against OGC. We did slightly rotate the squad for this match, as I'd learned my lesson from the previous game where I didn't change the squad from a Saturday to a Wednesday. So this game was on the Saturday after the Wednesday Dijon game. I brought in Juan for Balotelli, Clayton came in for Terral, Remy Walter came in for Isaric, and Andrea came in for Bice. Now, we were the favourites for this one, and it showed. We started off this match 11th in League One, and we won 4-0. There was some pretty tasty goals in this one. The first goal was a header from Clayton from a Dalbert cross, but the second goal, which was from Remy Walter, consisted of a 29 pass. It was a 29 pass move, which ended with Juan Carlos passing it into Walter, who scored from the edge of the box. Third goal was a bullet header from Dante from a Clayton free kick. And the final goal, Buscagli deflected cross, fell to Isaric, who played it to Remy Walter, who smashed it in from the edge of the box to get his second goal of the game. And an amazing debut performance from him. Well, debut for me anyway. I don't think I'd used him previously. 9.4 rating, 2 goals, and a deserved player of the match. At this point in time, he was actually in the midst of agreeing to go out on loan to a different club, but once this happened, I cancelled that entirely, signed him to a new contract because he's just turning into that important of a player for us. We then faced Marseille away from home, and there was only one change made for this one. Balotelli came in for Juan. Marseille were the favourites for this one. We were 6th, they were 9th, and then Remy Walter just impressed again, straight from kickoff. I think it was 17 seconds into the game, in fact. He scored a goal, Clayton with the assist, Walter with the edge of the box finish once again, and we were just dreaming. We were on Dream Street. Marseille did manage to equalise in the second half, however it was on the counter-attack. It was a pretty even game, to be fair. We bossed possession, we did let them have quite a few shots, but we managed to pick up a victory thanks to a penalty from Clayton. Dalbert actually won the penalty. Clayton just fired it into the top corner, and that moved us up to 3rd. Remy Walter, man of the match again, 8.3 rating this time, and obviously the one goal, and just continued to impress. Now for the game against Stade de Reims, we made one change. Dalbert was actually suspended for this one. Jefferson came in at left back for him. We were 3rd, Stade de Reims were 13th. A former Napoli player, in fact, Roberto Insigne, was in Stade de Reims starting 11, which I thought was quite interesting. Obviously, Insigne didn't get much of a go. If you watched the Napoli version of this series, he didn't get much of a chance with me there. If any, I think he was out on loan for the entirety of my time there. So it was interesting to see him play. He didn't do very well, which is kind of nice. And the only goal of this game came from a Balotelli assist to Remy Walter, who scored his 4th goal in 3 games, and it was another one from the edge of the box. Every single goal he scored has been from the edge of the box. I'm pretty sure his long shots aren't even that good. He's got 12 long shots, which isn't amazing. I mean, it's pretty good, but it's not amazing. While we're here, we'll take a look at his other attributes as well, if you can see them all. 13 dribbling, 13 first touch, 14 passing. He's pretty quick as well. Good acceleration, good pace. Excellent agility. And I'm just in awe of this guy's talent. He's only got 321 caps. I believe he should actually be in the French national team. He's that good. And then the final match to look back on is a bit of a disappointment, really. Juan came in for Balotelli. We were the favourites. We started the game 4th in the table. Toulouse were 11th. But things didn't get off to the best of starts. Le Marchand fouled Diop to give away a penalty. And then Somalia, is that what it says? Yeah, Somalia, he scored a second for Toulouse. Pretty even on possession. We just weren't creating much. We were creating opportunities, but we weren't really shooting very well, to be honest. Remy Walter, a bit quiet. Disappointing, and we move on from it. Now, this episode's 2 matches are against Lyon and Paris Saint-Germain. Lyon are 3rd, Paris Saint-Germain 6th. So as you can see, Lyon actually played midweek, so hopefully they're going to be a bit tired because they will have played a pretty full-strength squad against Dynamo Kiev. They only drew 1-1 as well. The last game they played in the league was against Montpellier, and they won 2-0. Nabil Fekir getting 2 goals. Hopefully we can, like I said last episode, I'm not expecting a victory against either of the teams that we're playing today, but if we get anything, I'll be happy. So this is the lineup that we're going for this Lyon game. There's been 2 changes from the last match. Bassetti has come in place of Eli Yuan. He didn't really play very well last game. He's only young, so I'll let him off for that. But Alexei Bassetti looks like a pretty good player, and he can play in complete forward, which is what the role that I like to play. Also, Jean Terral is back into the squad at attacking centre midfield alongside Clayton, as Juan Carlos has a bit of a knock. He is on the bench today, but he is returning to full fitness in 2 days apparently, so he'll probably not get to play really. And because of that, I think I'll put Lusamba on the bench instead, if it lets me. Yeah, so Arnaud Lusamba, who is a 20-year-old prospect, to say the least. He's a pretty good attacking centre midfielder. So I'll just run through the entire team. We've got Cardinal in goal, Andrea, Dante, Lamarche and Jefferson in defence, Cyprien is defensive midfielder, Vitali and Walter, key man, in centre midfield, Clayton and Terral, as you know, in attacking centre midfield, and Bassetti up top. Standard mentality, no team instructions, let's have at it. Lyon are 4-5 favourites for this one. We are 3-1, a draw is 2-1. Lyon are third, as I said previously, we are fourth, so a victory today can take us above Lyon and possibly, if we win by 8 goals, above Monaco, so not very likely. The highest we can finish really today is third. Dante is our key man. We've only conceded 4 goals in the 6 games that he's played in. That would be every game that we've played in the league this season. And Alexandre Lacazette is the key man for Lyon with 5 goals in 9 games so far this season. That's in all competitions, so I don't know how well he's done in the league itself. I know he scored on Wednesday against Dynamo Kiev. So team talk time, and we are underdogs. But I'll say, come on lads, show everyone what you can do. That seems to work pretty well. And I'll just play the game of pressing the same button constantly to make them go green, which works, as it always does. So we get the game underway. It would be nice to get a start like we did in that match where Remy Walter scored after 17 seconds, but I'm not really expecting it. So first highlight of the game, Cyprien to Terral. Now Bassetti with a shot. That happened so quickly I couldn't even commentate on it. Clayton with the ball in, Bassetti with a shot, but it was straight at Lopez. Grenier with the ball. Now it's Fekir. Chance for Lyon possibly. Tolisso with the ball on the right hand side. Crosses in, Lacazette there. Andrea heads it away. But Dante has fouled somebody and it's a penalty. And Lacazette grabs the ball. Well, doesn't grab the ball, but stands on the spot, which suggests he's going to take it. Places the ball down and I'm expecting this to go in. Alexandre Lacazette from the spot for Lyon. Bottom left hand corner. 1-0 Lyon. 6th goal of the season for him. And his 100th for Lyon. Bit disappointing to go behind from a penalty. The second time in as many games that we've gone behind from a penalty. We need to stop fouling people in the box. Really. And it's always a good idea not to foul people in the box, but my team obviously think it's fine. Corner for Lyon. Fekir whips it in. Vitali heads it away, but it's going to come back to Fekir. Crosses in Lacazette, and there's a second. And things go from bad to worse. It's a double for Lacazette. 35 minutes gone, and we're 2-0 down. So we're going to assertively demand more with about 10 minutes to go until half time. Now, we've been in charge possession-wise, really, in this game. It's just we're not really making that count. So half time, and we go in 2-0 down against Lyon. And I'm going to aggressively say I expect to see a much better showing because we've not been good enough, really. Everyone looks fired up or seems motivated. It's the defenders that are letting us down in terms of ratings anyway. Dante and Lamarche, both centre-backs, not really having the best of games. The only centre-back we've got on the bench is a young prospect, Iris Turo Kurzawa, who I could probably bring on and he'd be perfectly fine. Might do that, in fact. We'll give it a little bit. because obviously Dante's my captain and he's the worst performer, so you would have to come off. We'll just see if he can improve his performance as Lyon get the second half underway. Hopefully this doesn't come to anything. And it doesn't. Okay, it's substitution time. We're going to make a defensive sub. Dante is going off. Chiro Kurzawa is coming on. Dante's performance has not improved. And then we will make an attacking change. And we'll stick Clayton up front. Alexi Bassetti will come off for João Cabral, who I believe is another young prospect, 16 years old. This one's a bit more of a risk. Jesus, I didn't realise he was that young. But we'll go. No, we won't go with it. We'll bring Isaric on actually instead of him. I mean, yeah, Isaric's a more comfortable fit than Cabral. Cabral's not really got any standout attributes. He is a hot prospect, but he's only 16. Andrea with the header falls to Walter. Now it's Vitale to Cyprien. Forward to one of the substitutes, Isaric. Plays that ball through to Clayton. It's Clayton with a chance. It's saved. Toral, and it's blocked. And it's going to be cleared, I think, eventually by Gonalon, who plays that back to Lopez, in fact. Cyprien intercepts, but it falls to Yanga Mbiwa. And Fekir plays it forward to Lacazette. And that's the end of that chance. That was a great opportunity for Clayton to finish. He just couldn't get the ball out of his feet to fire it in. And speaking of Clayton, he's on a yellow card. He's on 69% condition and he's got a 6.6 match rating. That's just all the ingredients to be subbed off. Eli Yuan coming on for the last 15 minutes. See if he can make a difference. Actually, would have probably helped if I'd switched the mentality. Rookie mistake there. So I have switched it now to attacking with 12 minutes left. We were just sat in standard. We were losing 2-0 and sat in standard. Makes no sense. Don't know what I was playing at. So we'll go overload for the last 5 minutes or so. Attacking didn't give us a highlight. Overload doesn't look like it's going to give us a highlight either. Definitely not now. Toral with the ball. Can we get the last opportunity in the last few seconds? No, we can't because he gives the ball away. And that is going to be that. There's the full-time whistle. 2-0 defeat at home to Lyon. I said I wasn't expecting to get anything from these two matches. And, well, the first of those has gone exactly how I would have expected it. So I'm just going to be calm and say I can't fault you for effort. So that result drops us down to 6th place, just above our opponents for the next match, Paris Saint-Germain. But Paris Saint-Germain actually have 2 games in hand on us, so they are technically provisional leaders of the league if they win their 2 games in hand. Don't know if they've got any games in hand to play before they play us, but we'll see where they're at before the next game. Okay, so here we are just before the Paris Saint-Germain game, and I've decided to do a tactical switcheroo. So we're going to play with wingers today. We're going to have a 4-1-2-3 formation with a defensive midfielder still, and I've made a few personnel changes as well. A couple of players have come to me asking for first team football, and one of those was Walter Benitez, the goalkeeper, and Johan Cardinal hasn't really done amazingly well, so I figured why not give him a chance. So Benitez is going to be our goalkeeper for the next few games at least. And also Valentin Isaric, he came to me asking for more first team football. I'd already put him in the first team for this match before he asked me that, so I just told him the same thing as I told Benitez. And the rest of the team looks like this. Andrea in at right back, well, continues at right back. Paul Bice and Maxime Lemarchand are our centre-backs today. Dante drops to the bench after that poor performance last time out. Dalbert is left back, Cyprien defensive midfielder, Walter and Isaric in centre midfield, Juan Carlos at attacking right midfield, Vitale at attacking left midfield, and Clayton up front. So another very tough match for us today. Paris Saint-Germain 1-6 favourites. A draw is 5-1. Nice, that's us, obviously 10-1. We are 7th. Paris Saint-Germain have played one of their 2 games in hand, and obviously won that, I'm guessing, because they've gone up to 5th. But if we beat them today, which kind of is possible, but probably not, we can go above them. We can actually go up into 4th if we get a victory today, depending on how other results go. But we'll look at the key man for Paris Saint-Germain now. It's Angel Di Maria. Obviously, everyone will know him, former Manchester United player. Let's see how he's been getting on for them. He's done all right in the league, 7.1 Average rating, 6.9 average rating in the Champions League. He's only played one game. No goals or assists yet, though, for Paris Saint-Germain this season, which is a good sign. And then our key man apparently is Dante, even though he had an awful time out last match and is on the bench today. And they're asking me about it in the press conference. So I'm going to say that he's not been in his best lately. Spill out the team will help him recapture his best form. He's been after more regular action. Trained well, whatever. Who cares? Oh my god, look at their team. So, just so many names that shout out to me. Just looking at the attacking line, they've got Phil Coutinho, the Brazilian magician himself. Now, he's going to cause us some trouble, I can tell. Di Maria's on the other wing. Pastore in the centre of attacking midfield and Cavani up front. That is a scary attacking line. And they've got Lucas Moura on the bench as well. This isn't going to go well. So, team talk, and I'm going to assertively say we owe PSG after what happened last match. That seems to have worked. Johan Andrew, your morale is abysmal. Why is that? Well, passionately say I have faith in you. That doesn't work for him. I'll do the same again for the midfielders and again for the strikers. That didn't really help us at all. But fingers crossed we can get something from this. Expected defeat last time out against Lyon. But PSG are probably going to be equally as difficult, if not more difficult, to face. Now, first highlight of the game, 2 minutes in, Benitez with a goal kick towards Clayton. Thiago Silva wins it in the air. It comes to Cyprien though. Now it's Isaric, who wanted the chance in the first team, and he's lost the ball in his first touch in the first team. Coutinho wins the header, but Andrea heads it away, only to Verratti. Now it's Matuidi, forward to Cavani. On to Pastore, Coutinho's going to the edge of the box. This is dangerous, it's going to be a goal. No, it's not, because Cavani seems to think he can header from the edge of the box when my goalkeeper's there. Okay, I'm just looking at how this game's going. We're only 10 minutes in, but I think I'm going to switch it to counter-attacking. We'll play fairly wide. We'll go with a higher tempo and a slightly deeper defensive line. And we'll see how we get on. Obviously, counter-attacking mentality is kind of inviting pressure onto ourselves, but there's going to be pressure on us anyway. It's PSG for crying out loud. Okay, corner for PSG. Verratti whips it in. Cavani's back post. He heads it. It's gone in. I should have known. Ball launched forward towards Coutinho. Headed away by Andrea brilliantly. Now it's Juan Carlos to Clayton. Can we get a goal back? It's Clayton advancing forward with a chance, but he shoots it nowhere near the goal. And it continues to be 1-0 to PSG. It's half time and we are 1-0. 1-0 down, sorry, I should say. We've not really been very good. I'll use the underdogs thing. I know we're the underdogs, but go out there and give the fans a performance to cheer for. And it hasn't really done anything at all. I'm thinking I'm going to make the tactical change back to what it was originally. So that would be the easier way of doing it. So we'll drop Vitali into centre midfield. Isaric moves up into attacking midfield. Clayton's not playing well up front. Now, either Bassetti or Yuan can come in. Yuan's not been playing too well. But Bassetti hasn't played well either. So, yeah, Eli Yuan can come on and we'll play him as an advanced forward. And we'll leave it at that for now. So we get the second half underway. Not playing on counter-attack anymore, just on standard. It's our standard narrow formation that we usually play. Let's see if we can do any damage to PSG using this formation. I'm feeling it's going to be substitution time again. Dalber is on 62% condition, so Jefferson's going to come on for him. And I'm going to have to use my final sub. Isaric is on 65%, but Lusamba's the only attacking midfielder on the bench. And he's only on 83%. Cyprien can play at attacking midfield. And Kurzawa could play at defensive mid. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll stick Cyprien up at attacking midfield. Isaric goes off and Thiago Kurzawa comes on in defensive midfield. We've got no more personnel changes that we can make. So the players that are out there now are the players that have got to try and get this equaliser. Benitez with the goal kick. Can he find one of our teammates? No, he can't. One of his teammates. Kind of my teammates. But we've got the ball back. Vitale plays it back to Andrea. Now Tiro Kurzawa. 4-1. Takes it well. Walter's got it now. He's not played too well today, but he gives it away to Carlos. Doesn't give it away. Gives it to Carlos, who then gives it away. And Lucas Moura's got the ball on the attack for PSG. Plays it out wide to Di Maria, who cuts inside and switches the ball to the left-hand side to Coutinho, who hits it further left to Gaia. And this could be a chance for a second for PSG. Gaia crosses it in. Di Maria's there. And it was never really in any doubt. Now, the craziness in me suggests we just go attacking. So, why not? Have a laugh. Lose 5-0 or score a goal. Corner for PSG. Di Maria crosses in. Tiro Kurzawa heads that away, but it goes straight back to Di Maria, who plays it to Gaia. Now it's Coutinho. It's a good save from Benitez. I don't think he's played too badly today. I mean, I've brought him in such a tough game. Can't really have expected him to do much better than he has done. This highlight hasn't ended yet, which suggests to me that PSG are going to have another opportunity. It's Vidma to Krychowiak. Now Lucas Moura, Pastore, looking for Coutinho, but Andrea gets there. What's he doing? Clears that. Jefferson. Can we get a counter-attack? Forward towards Cyprian, but Marquinhos wins it, and it's Lucas Moura practically through on goal. Moura shoots off the bar. Benitez was lucky there not to be 3-0 down. 5 minutes left. Switch to overload. It's kamikaze management, this is. Walter loses out there. Thiago Silva with the ball at the back for PSG. Forward to Coutinho. I knew these two games were going to be tough, but it's just ridiculous. Through to Lucas Moura. It tried to go round the keeper, but Benitez just stayed on his feet. Excellent goalkeeping from him there. Now it's practically just run down the clock time. 5 seconds left. And that ball doesn't get to Juan. Thiago Silva comes away with it. And there's the full-time whistle. Paris Saint-Germain have beaten us quite easily today. They had 22 shots to our 6. And they win 2-0. I'm going to say they gave it the best effort. To be fair, wasn't expecting anything from either of the two games in today's episode. So that result knocks us down to 9th place. PSG stay in 5th. Bastia are the new leaders of Ligue 1, interestingly enough. But yeah, not too disappointed. I mean, I don't like losing, but was kind of expected. I just wanted to show you guys us testing ourselves against better opponents. So next episode, I think we'll do the Coupe de la Ligue 3rd round against Angers and the league game against AS Monaco. So in between that time, we've got 4 games to play offline against Lorient, who are 19th, Angers in the league, who are 7th, Montpellier, who are 13th, and Metz, who are 20th. So I'd say, barring Monaco, we've probably got our toughest games out of the way for this early part of the season. Obviously, we'll have to play PSG and Lyon again in February. But yeah, I'm pretty confident that we can win all of them games. In terms of the tactic as well, I think I will switch back to the narrow formation. I don't think we're suited to having wingers. I might have to mess around with team instructions and the like to try and figure out how to get us back into winning ways. I mean, we had 3 wins in a row, now we've had 3 defeats in a row. Hopefully we'll switch it back to winning and go on a nice long winning run. But that is it for this episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to hit that like button. Feel free to leave a comment below. Tell me how terrible we played against Lyon and Paris Saint-Germain, or if you're nice, tell me how unlucky we were not to get something, but I don't even believe that, so you would be lying. Subscribe to my channel to get all my content when it comes out, and I'll see you next time.